Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have my aces this week. And basically I just didn't want them going to waste, so why not put them as a video? And we're going to just talk about each tank as we play it. So this tank is the Leo, the Swedish tier 7 tank, and I've only really just started playing the tank. I did skip the line with free XP. I had the XP, so I skipped the line all the way up to tier 9 and tier 10. I haven't even played the tier 8 one on my main account yet, only because everyone knows I love farming and chasing aces. That's been a hobby of mine for a very long time, and I do have one of the most aces in the game. And that has always been a target of mine, to ace every single tank in the game. That is not possible as I don't own the Kennyotsu. Currently, there's like 3 tanks, I think, something like that, 3 or 4 tanks that I don't own in the game at the minute. But 3 of them, 3 out of the 4 is actually possible to get. It might not even be 3. I think it might even be 2. The Kennyotsu and no, it's the Kennyotsu. What else am I missing? The Kennyotsu, the Pilot, and one of the other tanks, the Firefly, but the other version, like the Japanese kind of version. So, but 2 of them eventually I will be able to get. The Kennyotsu, unfortunately, I don't think I will ever be able to get. So I'm not ever going to be able to get 100% mastery badges. So we are actually doing really well. As I've said, just started playing this tank, and I kind of like it. It's not the best tier 7s. I like the high alpha. I like the fact that you could do over 300 damage on your AP. And I was starting to enjoy this tank. I did enjoy this tank, and I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to sell it. It is a good tank, and it was pleasantly quite easy for me to be able to ace. So this game so far, I mean, we do get lucky in a minute, and I'm kind of scared of that smasher at the moment on the enemy team. Hasn't got the best of armors on this. The front plate is very troll, but if you come out sideways against the smasher, you're just going to be smashed. So what is the art of acing tanks? What is the art? How do you do it? Now, I've spoke about this before in a previous tank. Every time I want to ace a tank, now, people will say it's kind of cheating, but every time I want to ace a tank, I always play Supremacy. Always. It's very rare I play in counter mode when I need to ace a tank. Mainly because if you cap a base, if you're the only person to cap a base, you get so much more XP. And I've seen stupid amount of aces with very, very low damage. But the fact that someone has got 600, 700 XP just because, I mean, 700 Supremacy points, it gives you a crazy amount of XP. This game here, 3,400 damage, 1,230 XP, but we did get 400 Supremacy points. So without a doubt, because of those Supremacy points, we managed to get the ace. Now, the next battle we have is the Vindicator, and as most of you know, I absolutely hate this tank. It is the worst, in my opinion, the worst. I made a video the other day. TD in the game, the worst TD in the game, and that's because of the gun depression. It's literally 2 degrees. Now, once Wargaming buffed this, give it a couple of extra degrees of gun depression, it will be a much better tank, but it's still not going to be the greatest of tanks. Now, when this tank is top tier, you can use the armor. Now, again, just like the first battle, the art, in my opinion, the art of acing tanks is Supremacy. And I'm in a TD here, and I am capping base D. So I am getting the cap points, I'm getting the damage, and I'm also going to get the spots as well in a TD. So because I am top tier, we are playing it aggressive, and you'll see a lot of times, especially in my videos, that I do play aggressive, very aggressive. And I do that for one reason, because I'm trying to ace the tank. And of course, because I'm trying to ace the tank, I want to get spotting damage. I want to get some shots off to the enemy. I want to get some block damage, all that. And all that leads to more XP, of course. Now, the thing with this tank, because it only has heat and HE, I am unable to shoot this Panther until he moves into a position that I can actually get that shot off. But as you can see, the enemy have called base A and base C. There goes the Panther. The enemy are 2 tanks down. So now, because I am top tier, we got rid of a tier 7. I'm going to play a little bit more aggressive, but I'm still going to play it with caution because I don't have a turret. The worst thing I want to do is push, and then something like this Leo comes up behind, gets behind me, and I am unable to get around because he's circling me. So I don't want that at all. And as you can see, I'm always keeping an eye on him. I'm always keeping an eye on him. Now, what I want to do here, because the enemy does have 2 bases, I want to take one of those bases, because now they are capping base B. So my aim now is either to stop the base or to recap it once they have taken the cap. So people get confused about mastery badges, and as I've said before, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but because I've already made the video. People think that mastery badges is all about the damage, and sometimes I've seen people with 7-8k damage and they don't get an ace. They only get a first class, and they're like, how is this not an ace? Because aces are always done by XP, and you can earn XP in many different ways. If you're sat at the back camping, getting damage, you're basically only getting XP for your damage. Where if you're at the front doing damage, you're getting XP for the assistant damage, you're getting XP for spotting, you're getting XP for the damage, you're getting double as much XP, or maybe even triple as much XP. And of course, in Supremacy, the bases are the most important thing. As I've said before, I've seen tier 10 aces with sort of 2k damage, but with 900 supremacy points, which that means they basically got all the supremacy points themselves. Now, this battle here, I did actually get help capping base D, which is a shame, because if I didn't get help, then all these supremacy points are basically mine. Now, we do get a nice fire there on the SU-152, putting him down, killing him as well. So, not only are we getting now XP for spotting, because we are spotting the tanks, we're doing damage, we're also getting the XP for assistant damage, and we're getting XP for the supremacy points. So, my XP this game is going to be quite high. Now, the worst thing I don't want at the minute is the enemy to cap out. Now, we do have 3 bases, and there is only 2 tanks left alive. So as long as I can take at least one other tank out, I think we should win this quite comfortably. But what I don't want is that KV-1S up there to kill one of my tanks. Now, I can see I haven't got a shot. I don't want to drop down. I don't want to chase him. And I'm sitting there actually thinking, like, do I go for base C? But then I'm looking at the supremacy points. I'm looking at that KV-1S thinking, oh, okay, we've got this covered. And now all of a sudden, because we took out that guy, we've now got 3 caps. Our team are cap based A, so it's not just me getting the supremacy points anymore. And there's just 1 tank left, which is this Churchill 7. So we're just going to load up the heat. We're going to load up the heat, and we are going to clear him. So there we got supremacy points. We got block damage. We've got 3 kills. We've got spotting damage. We've got damage. And we managed to get enough XP for that ace. 4,200 damage. We make some credits as well. And my XP was 1,264. We do some spotting. We spot 4 tanks. We got nearly 500 supremacy points, which I think is very, very good in a TD with no turret. So that was why we got the XP here. Now, this game, we are driving the Emil II, which is the tier 9 Swedish tank. And we're going to get a decent amount of XP this game. Not because of bases. So we are on Rockfield, we are in tier 10, and I think that actually goes towards your XP as well. If you're damaging or killing higher tier tanks, I think that actually does help. I'm not 100% sure actually, but I think that does actually help towards your XP. You gain more XP. So first tank spotted is the Death Star. Of course, we don't want to be open. We don't want to come out sideways against that guy. And again, some of my team go left, some of my team go right. We're just going to go in the middle here, which again is a perfect position because we've got some side shots here. We're going to get the spotting damage if the tanks come from the middle, the other side of me. And as you can see, we have one shot and we do kill that poor K91. So he's now gone. We're going to reload our magazine. We've got one shell left. At the minute, I've got no shot. So I don't just want to sit in that position. So I want to go round. And as I go round, we do open up some tanks. We are going to switch to the HE now because there is a nice, juicy waffle. 552 into him. We've got one shell and we get 597. Now, the T62 is now pushing. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get some assistant damage because we're just going to sit here. We are opening up the AMX and we are opening up the T62. Now, the AMX made a bad decision in dropping, but I think he had no choice because of my medium tanks here. And I do appreciate their help in dropping down and dealing with this AMX 50B. So there is 2 kills onto my XP. Now, as I've said, we haven't caught any bases. We're only on 2.6k damage, 2 minutes in, and there's now 3 tanks left alive. Now, we're going to just reload the one shell here. We're not just going to sit at the back reloading all 3 shells. If I've got the shot, I'm going to take the shot and trying to bring that T62A down low enough. I'm just going to reload each shell. Now, that was just a stupid shot. That was a pathetic shot, in my opinion. But we're just going to sit here on the hill. We haven't bounced any damage yet, but we're just going to sit here on the hill, making sure these 2 tanks here that are always spotted. Now, the K91 on our team is also coming up with me. He's going to deal the damage, and hopefully he's going to take out the T62A, which he does. But he takes a nasty shot. Nope, the E100 actually takes out the Death Star. So there we're going to track that E100. We've tracked him, hopefully keeping him into position, but he does repair. But at the minute, before this K91 come up this way, we were keeping him open. So we're on 4.2k damage. Now, this game, I didn't actually think I did a lot. Now, we are winning on supremacy points. We've got 2 bases. We're up to nearly 900 supremacy points. And there's my 3rd kill. And it now just leaves this Death Star. I'm hoping to reload before I get to him. We do get a nice bounce, but we don't manage to get the kill. But we do get that nice bounce at the end. So that was the only bounce we got that game, and we do get the ace, and we actually end up on 1600 base XP. I don't even know where that XP come from until I check the end of the battle results, and we do get 1400 assistant damage. We also get 110 victory points earned, and that's basically just from killing the kills that I did. We didn't cap any bases whatsoever, and we only spotted 1 tank. So as you can see from that ace there, that isn't a crazy amount of damage. That isn't even a crazy amount of assistant damage, but everything all together with the spot, the victory points, the damage, the assistant damage, it led to the ace. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
With